Hi, my name's Billy. I read books and I've read Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is book number 1 in his Children of Time series. It was released in 2015 and it's about 600 pages long. It's a science fiction book, as you can no doubt guess from the cover, and I really enjoyed this book. I did this as a buddy read with Robin from the channel Bookspin. Check Robin's channel out, I'll link it down below, and we both had a really good time reading it. Robin gave this 5 stars, I'm giving it 4.5. I initially started it as a 4-star, but over time it's grown on me and it's impressed me more as time has gone on, as it's been able to marinate and allow me to think on it. So 4.5 out of 5, let me tell you why. So as with any good spacefaring science fiction-y type of book, Earth is screwed and humanity is looking to try and find new planets to preserve the species. And because this is set in the future, humanity is spacefaring far more than it is now, and they're colonising and terraforming other planets, looking to try and build somewhere that can resemble Earth for humanity to live on. But what they don't have as humanity is a lot of time. So what they're looking at doing is putting some monkeys onto the planet they've terraformed with a virus. Now, not that type of virus, not any kind of virus that's going to wipe them out or anything like that. It's a virus that will speed up evolution. So humanity doesn't have to wait however long for monkeys to evolve to a level where they are similar to humankind almost. The virus would allow the monkeys to remember previous generations' experiences and knowledge as well. So, you know, if information is lost, you know, they've got like generations worth of memories and skills and research to fall back on. Now that's an interesting concept, as I'm sure you will agree. But what makes it more interesting is that, well, it goes a bit wrong and something bad happens to the monkeys. Now, if you're an animal rights fan, if you're a monkey lover, don't worry. Well, I say don't worry, no monkeys were harmed in the making of this book or this video, but something goes terribly wrong, the monkeys all die and something else gets the virus. Now, this isn't a spoiler as such, because this happens very early on in the book, and it's then what happens after this, which is where the story goes from. Now, you may have already seen reviews of this book before, and you might know what these other creatures are that get the virus that was intended for the monkeys, but I don't want to spoil this for you in any way. If you just go into it blind and just be surprised by what happens. So for the purpose of this review, I'm just going to call these creatures that get the virus as the stuff of nightmares. So we have perspectives in this book from humans and the stuff of nightmares. And humans are able to cryogenically put themselves to sleep, so like a vast amount of time goes by in terms of the human element of this story, and you follow the stuff of nightmares as they evolve, learn, develop and build their story progresses really. And you would think that having perspectives from humans, you would empathize and enjoy reading about them more than anything, but instead it's the stuff of nightmares that I enjoyed the most. I enjoyed seeing them advance and progress and follow their stories along. So one of the things I really enjoyed with this story is the fact that not only have you got the plot involving the humans, you've got the plot involving the stuff of nightmares that I've already spoken about, you've also got other things explored as well, such as if you were a human being on a spaceship and you kept on getting put to sleep for hundreds of years and then come back, and then there's like a new generation of humans there who've been born and lived and died maybe, and then another generation coming through in between you were last there awake, how will the society on the ship have changed? How will that affect you? How would humanity manage in those situations when you've also got the overriding mission, which is looking after the stuff of nightmares? How would that impact? How would you manage continuing on with the mission that you've got and dealing with the human side of things that managing the constant change and evolve of humanity in a confined space on a spaceship where you're not supposed to be. That's not where humans are intended to live, is it? On a spaceship in space, being cryogenically frozen for hundreds of years at a time. You've got all that being mashed together over here and working together here, tying in with the evolution and the story and the progression of the stuff of nightmares on the planet. There's other stuff as well, other little factions, other little stuff going on as well in the background. There's almost like not really side elements because it is integral to the story, but there's a lot going on that when you speak about this out loud, it sounds preposterous. But when you read it in this book and the way it's all being put together and the way it all works and the way it all ties in, it's really, really good. Just the only couple of negatives for me with this book, which is why I ended up giving it 4.5 rather than 5, were it's a little bit ham-fisted and heavy-handed in terms of trying to get gender roles across. Not so much in terms of humanity, in terms of the stuff of nightmares. So there's a point being made, which was pretty obvious right from the word go. It keeps on getting made, and then made again, and then made again, and you're thinking, okay, I'm getting this now. But it keeps on getting made and then keeps on getting made, and you're thinking, Adrian, I get it, I really get it, stop it now. But he just does it again a few more times and then moves on. It was a little bit like trying to crowbar stuff in. Bearing in mind, with the subject matter that you're dealing with, takes your brain, you've got to be able to think outside the box and absorb a lot of information and allow your mind just to go with it and think in new ideas and imagine the unimaginable. So what I don't need as a reader is to be presumed as being maybe a little bit dim and not being able to grasp what you're getting at in the story. So I didn't like that bit because it felt as though I, as the reader, was being taken for a bit of a dimwit. And then the only other little bit I didn't like, and I say I didn't like, it's just a little nitpick this, is that the story just seemed to end. I do have a gripe sometimes that stories don't know when to end. Like you think the book should finish here and then it just keeps on going, and then you think, just end the story. It's not the case with this book. It was a case of a moment happens that you kind of think he's going to be coming all the way through the book. It happens and the story ends, and it just seemed to go like that. Which I thought the ending could have just been a little bit longer, a little bit more added to it, really. But like I say, that's just nitpicking. That's just a personal thing from me. But all in all, this is really good. I would definitely recommend it to you. I know I refer to the creatures as the stuff of nightmares, but that's just because of what they are, not so much that this is a horror story. There is a tiny little bit of like, I don't want to say horror, because that's not doing it the proper service it deserves. There's a little bit in the book where you think it might be turning into a horror kind of book, but it's not. It's not, but it sets it up like it might be, but then it becomes apparent that it's not. But yeah, just enjoy it, have fun, and I will chat to you in the comments. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, bye bye. Now you may very well have seen reviews of this video, oh, for fuck's sake. You also follow